I'm here with the Hit the Road page kit by Not Just a Boys Kit Club, and I'm going to show you how to put that page kit together. First, I'm going to tell you what you're going to get in your kit. First of all, you're going to get a sheet of instructions that's double-sided, full color instructions with pictures and cut guides. So you're going to have that. And then when you checked out at the store, there was a drop-down menu and you chose from one of these 3 stamp sets. So you either picked the Let's Travel Adventure Begins Here stamp set, or you picked the Cartography #1 See the World stamp set, or you picked the Passport Get Set Go stamp set. So as you can see, all of these stamp sets are pretty similar in style. Like, they're all small stamps, a variety of words, little images, tags, or journaling lines. So regardless which stamp set you're working with, you're gonna find something on your set that is similar to something on the other set. So we'll keep that in mind. For this video, I'm going to be working with the Cartography stamp set. For the completed layout that's photos are on the website, I use the Passport stamp set. So if you've got the Let's Travel stamp set, you're just gonna have to improvise. But it's, like I said, when I start going over the video, you'll see how to do that. Okay, and then you've got one set of flatback finishing touch flatback pearls that coordinate with this kit. There's a whole bunch of them in there. You've got one set of Road Trip, Cartabella's Road Trip sticker sheet, 12 by 12 sticker sheet, and these are great. I love these. And then you've got a Let's Go Anywhere 6 by 6 stencil. That's the arrows. And it's called Scenic Route stencil. And then the paper that you're gonna get is from Cartabella's new line Road Trip. This one's called Historic 66, and it has the Route 66 sign on the back. And this one is called Road Vibes, and it's maroon, tone on tone polka dot on one side and clouds on the other. And then you're going to have another piece from Road Trip, and this one is called 3x4 journaling cards. It's got like a compass on the B side and these little journaling cards or travel cards on the other side. You're going to get one sheet of Road Trip navy and yellow designer solids cardstock, and one sheet of Merry Christmas dark green and light blue cardstock, because I thought that those colors matched really well when I was putting this kit together. And you're gonna have one sheet of 12 by 12 white cardstock. So that's what's coming in your kit. And the first thing that you're going to want to do is take your instruction sheet, and it has cutting guidelines on the back, and you're gonna go and cut down all of these papers like it's outlined on the back of your instructions. And I'm gonna go do that, and I'll be right back. Alrighty guys, so for this side of the layout, we are going to start with the sheet of white cardstock as the base. And the first thing that you're going to do is just adhere this blue piece that you gutted right directly on top of it, so you can't see any of the white. If any of the white sticks out from underneath, just trim it off with your paper trimmer, because we don't want to see any of that white border. But that white paper is just so that it's easier to adhere things to that white piece than just letting them float. Okay, so for instance, I'm gonna trim that little tiny strip of white off with my paper trimmer real quick. Okay, great. So now we've got this, and the next thing that you're going to grab is the part of the map that you have cut off of that paper. And as you can see, that is 12 inches wide. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna trim off the top and both sides, just to give it an even little skinny, thin border around the map, so that that is nice on there. And then we can go ahead and adhere that map, or we'll lay everything out first actually. So the next piece is going to be this strip of the compass paper, and then this strip of the red paper. And as you can see, that will cover up all that white showing in the background. So now we can go ahead and adhere all of these things. I'm going to start with the map, then the compass paper, then the red paper, and go ahead and adhere everything down. And then after that, we are going to take the piece of paper that is the Route 66 paper, and we're going to kind of fussy cut one strip of the Route 66 out. I'll show you exactly what I mean. So we've got this one little strip. It was from the bottom of the matte paper, and there's one complete Route 66, and we're just going to fussy cut along the bottom and along the top. So it's just going to be one long strip of Route 66 signs. So I'm going to go ahead and start that right now, but I am going to do it off camera, so you don't have to watch me cut the whole thing. But you just can cut approximately. Let me show you a few so you can see exactly what I mean. It doesn't have to be totally perfect. It's very tiny little bumps and curves on these little signs, but it comes out looking like that. So I'm gonna go do this off camera to this whole strip, and I will be right back. As you may know from watching my previous videos, instead of using actual photographs on these videos, I'm going to use pieces of paper that represent my photographs. So I've got 2 3x4 photos. So you're going to take the back side of this paper and mat these 2 photos right there on the top. And then you're going to save the bottom part, this part. We're going to use it on the other side of the layout. So we're gonna go ahead and save this piece and this little piece for the other side of the layout. And we've got our 2 photos. So they're gonna kind of go like this. Now on my pictures, we're traveling from Arizona to California. So I wanted to leave Arizona and California showing. But if we were going from Arizona to Missouri, I would pull my pictures down a little, so it would show Arizona to Missouri. If we were going on the East Coast, I would reverse my pictures so we could see in the map, because I actually outlined on the map our route on my layout. So I'm just gonna go ahead and adhere these down, and I'm gonna make sure that the route that we took is showing after my pictures are adhered. So I'll put one right about here, and the other one over here, because I'm not too concerned with this southeast part of the map. Okay, we're almost done with the bones of this side of the layout, and next thing that we're going to want to do is grab our sticker sheet, and I'm going to use this scallop sticker, and I'm going to put it across the bottom down here, just a little ways up from the bottom. And then I'm going to adhere this Route 66 overlapping just a little bit, so we don't see the line part of that scallop sticker, like it's gonna overlap this top line. And then it looks a little layered down there. Okay, I'm gonna have to trim off a tiny little piece there. Okay, and next we are gonna take the sticker sheet and just start embellishing and adding stickers. You may wanna add the same stickers that I'm adding, you may not. You may wanna add your own stickers that fit better with the theme of your photos, but I'm adding suitcases. I'm adding the word vacation down here. I'm gonna add this little gas tank right here. I am gonna pop a couple stickers up on dimensional adhesive, so I will go back in after I do all the flat stickers first. I'm gonna add the little word road trip down there. I'm going to slide the sticker road vibes underneath this picture a little, and the word travel. And I'm making sure that I can still see my route before I adhere these stickers because I don't want to cover up my route. This road trip sign, I'm gonna put it there. Vacay. Okay, the rest of the stickers I'm gonna back with foam tape so that they pop. So I'm going to start with this little dinosaur sticker that says Adventures Await. And like I'm saying, you use the stickers that match your layout. You don't need to use the exact ones that I'm using. I'm gonna put this right here. And I loved this little camera because I love photography a lot. So anytime I can add a camera to my layout, I'm happy. And of course we take lots of pictures on vacation. So the camera worked very well. And we were actually going to the beach in my pictures. So I'm gonna put this little one that says beach with the arrow. And you know, it is pointing the wrong direction because we're going to the beach on the West Coast, California. And of course, this little arrow is pointing east on my map, but that's okay. I still liked it. I liked the little beach sign. I guess it doesn't have to be super literal. I'm pretty literal with my embellishments, I think, though. Okay, this little globe to signify that we're traveling. The American Highways sign. And that can go down here to kind of bring my title into these embellishments. It kind of like puts that all into one little grouping. And then the word explore is somewhere on here. There it is, real tiny. I have a little sliver of this tape. Cut this off. And I'll put the word explore. Oops, got a little too much. Put that right over here. And that's it for this side of layout, guys. The background map paper was huge in putting this half together. It just really lent itself to not having to add a whole lot of anything else to this layout because it was awesome. So this side of the layout is done, and now we're gonna work on the other side of the layout. Alrighty guys, we are going to work on the other side of the layout right now, and what you're going to do is start with this blue sheet of paper, and let's go ahead and cut the branding strip off that. We don't need that little guy on there. Cut off that branding strip. And then we are going to take the stencil, this stencil that comes with your kit, Let's Go Anywhere Scenic Route stencil, and we are going to stencil the entire back of this layout. So I'm going to get a piece of scratch paper to put under so I don't get ink on my work surface. I'm just going to slide this paper underneath so I don't get ink on my work surface. And I just want to do a very subtle stenciling on here, tone on tone. So I'm just going to use, this is the Stormy Sky color from Distress Oxide. As you could tell, it's almost the same color as the paper. So whatever ink color you use, if you want to make it subtle, just use something that's very similar to the color of your background paper. And we are just going to stencil. I'm using the little brush here. The whole entire thing. Oh, I just moved it. And I'm not going to do the whole page live on video because it takes quite a while. But I'm going to show you how you can repeat the pattern because this pattern it looks very random, but it does repeat. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So I did put the stencil all the way to the edge of the paper. So it looks like the little pieces that are going off are just going, you know, straight off the edge of the paper. You'll be able to see when I lift this up. See, they're just going right off the edge. Okay, so we lifted up the stencil and pick an arrow that's on here. I'll pick this swirly one right at the top. The swirl, this big swirl, it repeats right down here. So you can take this big swirl that was on the top and place it over where you stenciled this one. So just move it down, line it up, and now you can stencil this bottom half. And I'm hoping this is making sense. So I just picked up the stencil and moved it to where it repeated. And then I will do that again. Pick up the stencil, and I've got this big swirling one, and it repeated down here. So I will replace that right over it and stencil the last little bit of the layout. And I'm going over it pretty quickly. It's on video too. You can take more time if you want, or you could just do quickly like I am. Okay, so we've got that. Now we'll go back to the top, and as you can see, let's try to find this little arrow right here in the corner. This little one is repeated down here. So, and it's also repeated right here. So you can see that that little arrow right there is the same as this one. So I'm gonna place this one, and you'll see all the other arrows will line up. And then we can stencil this. And that's how you have to do over and over. Now I can go back and refer to this long one and move this down. And hopefully everything, if you line it up real carefully each time you stencil, everything will line up. See, and it's like seamless. You can't even tell that I'm doing this in pieces. I'll get that lined up to do a little more over here. Maybe I will just do this whole thing right on video for you, because we're almost done. That's going pretty quick. And then we've just got a little smidge down the side that we're gonna have to go back in and fill in and reline up the stencils. Oh, I missed this part right here. So I'll go in and line that up. Okay, so this is pretty seamless. How this is happening here. Oof. So it's just a matter of finding the repeat on the stencil. Oh my word, why? There we go. And it's sometimes a little hard to see when you're doing tone on tone because it's fairly light. But I think, oh, I kind of messed it up right there. I don't know what's happening here. Guys, I'm doing this super fast, like for the video, so you can take your time a little more and you won't have these mistakes that I've got going on there. So let's see. I'm gonna actually spin these mistakes so they're gonna be covered up. I'm gonna spin my paper. Okay, stenciling is done and we can pull this sheet out. So we basically made our own pattern paper right there using a stencil and tone on tone stamping. The next thing that we're going to do is grab your picture. And as you may know, I use a paper to represent my picture. I used a 5x7 collage on my layout, but you can use a 5x7 photo, or you can use 4 smaller photos or a 4x6 photo. It doesn't have to be a 5x7. And then we're gonna just lay out the rest of these pieces approximately where they go. We're not going to adhere anything down quite yet. Okay, you've got 2 strips left of the cut aparts. You're gonna pick 2 that you want to use. I'm going to pick the Let's Go Coastal because we're going to the coast, and we're going places in the desert because we're coming from the desert. So I'm gonna cut those two apart. We're going places and let's go coastal. And then the rest of these cut aparts you can use for other layouts or other projects. But I definitely think pick the two that are your favorite, that match your pictures the best to use on this layout. So they're just gonna kind of go approximately there and there. And this, we're gonna use the gold side, and we're going to put it right underneath all of these things, just peeking out a little bit. And this little scrap, and it's just gonna go right in there. And this is the basic layout of this page. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere all of this down, and I will be, oh, one more thing that we need the branding strip that has the little compasses on it. And I'm gonna cut the branding strip out. That's gonna go down here. And then I liked this little road trip word, so I'm gonna cut that out. I know it's just the title of the paper line, but I'm gonna put that down in there too. Okay, so I'm gonna go adhere all of these things down, and I will be right back. All right, so we've got these all adhered down, and we're going to come in with our stamp set. And I'm going to use the cartography #1 stamp set in this video, but like I said in the introduction, there's 3 different stamp sets, so you may have another one. I'm going to start with a piece, oops, that grounds embellishment clusters. So on this stamp set, I'm going to start with a tag. There is a tag on one of the other stamp sets. There's some journaling lines on the last final stamp set. Those can all be grounding. And I'm going to use a little darker ink than the blue that I already used. I'm going to use Distress Oxide Faded Jeans. And I'm gonna just stamp a couple of these overlapping each other up here. I'm gonna stamp one more down here. Oh, I maybe should have stamped before I adhere all this, but that's okay. One down there, and I'm gonna stamp one underneath here. So I'm gonna peel up a little. Okay, so there, I'm gonna stamp this again because this, there we go. Okay, so now I've got like 3 little grounding areas for my stamp clusters to go. And I can put this stamp back. And the next stamp I'm gonna pick is going to be a little word. And you all have lots of words. Whichever stamp set you have a lot of words. So I am going to stamp wander. And I'm going to do that in the tone on tone color, the light, the Stormy Sky ink. And I'm just gonna stamp it kind of hanging out on my little tags. Okay, and then I'm gonna stamp another set of words. Make New Adventures is what I'm gonna choose from this one. And I'm gonna do that one in gray. So I'm using Hickory Smoke. Because I just wanted, I don't want these images to be too dark and distracting, these little stamp clusters. I just want them to just be a little bit of an embellishment on there. And the final stamp that I'm going to use is a geotag. And I want to say there's a geotag or a mini arrow or something on every stamp set. If there's not a geotag, there's a little mini arrow. And I'm just going to stamp. I'm somewhat overlapping the images. And that is fine. Oops. Okay, so that is the stamp work on this layout. And these stamps are, there's so many amazing stamps here. You could do all kinds of fun things with these stamp sets. And they can be used over and over and over again. Yeah, I love them. Okay, let's move this out of our way and grab the sticker sheet because that's gonna be our next thing. I'm gonna actually, this, when I peeled it up, it just doesn't wanna lay back down. So I'm gonna adhere that back down. So this sticker that says road trip is fairly big. So what I did is I cut it apart. I made it into 2 stickers. One says road and one says trip. It just seemed more manageable to me because it was just so large. I'm not used to putting quite that large of stickers on my layout. And so when I cut the bottom of the road to like match the bottom of the letters, I want to come in here and make the trip kind of match it too. Because right now the bottom of the word trip is just straight across on the stickers. Okay, and then I popped these up on dimensional foam tape. So let's pop these up. Road and trip. Oh, and then you have to, since we trimmed off the road, you have to go to the top of the word trip and trim it off too. Now it's easier to trim stickers when they're on the backing. That's why I trimmed it on the backing. Once I take it off, it's a little harder to trim stickers. They want to stick to your scissors. So I would do all my trimming while it's on the backing sheet of the sticker sheet, if I were you. Okay, we're not going to adhere these. We're just going to set them into place. Road trip. And then I want to take another sticker because I want to kind of ground it underneath. So now I can take the adhesive off of the road and the trip and adhere it down. I just wanted to get that grounding sticker in the right place. And I kind of covered up my little stamp cluster, but that's okay. That's what it's there for. It's just a little subtle detail on the layout. So there's the word road trip. And then got a little arrow here pointing to my picture. And then the North American road trip sticker, I am going to also put on foam tape. If I was not doing a video, I would be a little more careful with the foam tape and add a little more, but I don't want to have to make you just watch me add foam tape. I'm actually going to move this down a little. There we go. And then we've got a luggage down here. And again, I would use the pictures that coordinate with you, the stickers that coordinate with your pictures. You don't necessarily have to use the same stickers that I'm using. Oh, I want to put this unplug, unwind, take a road trip down first. And then the camera can overlap. And since we were going to California, it made sense for me to use this little California one. But there's lots of interstate stickers on here. Highway 101, Route 66, there's all kinds. So if you're not in California, it's okay, use a different one there. All right, I think we have all of the stickers. And the last thing that you're gonna add to this layout is you're gonna pull out your little finishing touch pearls. I'm just gonna dump them out because it's easier. And we'll put one up there, a large one on the top, a medium one there, and a tiny, tiny one down here. These are hard little guys to grab. There's a tiny one. I put a large one down here. A medium one next to the camera, and a small one over here. So it's kind of like a little triangle over my embellishment cluster. And the last little set, I'm gonna put a large one here, small one next to it, and a medium one up there. So that makes a little triangle too. And I'm gonna go ahead and adhere all those down off camera. I am going to use glossy accents to adhere them down because that is what I find makes them stick. Glossy accents, or super glue, or liquid glass from Close to My Heart, it's also called. Glossy Accents is Ranger. I'll show you the little bottle. You can get it just about any glass store or online, Glossy Accents. So that's what I'm gonna use to adhere my little pearls. And then if you wanted to add journaling and a date, now would be the time to do that on either page. Either side of the layout, you can add a date and journaling. I like journaling using journaling strips, so they can just go right over the corner of your layout anywhere you want. Or a journaling card or a journaling block can be added in here. But I'm gonna go finish adhering these, and I will come back with close-up shots of all these embellishment clusters. There's also, of course, a photograph of this completed layout on the bottom of your instructions. There are photographs and close-up pictures on our website at notjustforboyskitclub.com under the listing that's called Hit the Road. And even if it's sold out, we still leave the listing and the photos up there so that you can refer back to them when you're making your layout. So thanks for watching, guys, and have a good day.